I beat TJ to the punch.
Oh, anyway, I have to turn my camera. Okay, there we go. Okay, so
Listen up.
listen up. So we are on the lot of KTLA, but it's actually kind of like the Netflix lot. And Wes just finished his very first interview where he was actually really coached by me. So Wes,
Oh, she kind of coached me last time too.
well, I did,
Fresno.
but this one was I booked it.
She booked it,
I crafted the segment.
crafted it,
I pitched it.
got
It booked.
it booked,
And then worked you on it.
worked me like a pack mule.
So Wes, wait, tell them. So soon as he finished and he came out of the studio, what was?
I'm tired. This is hard.
We're still on a studio lot, nut. So
They better have soundproofing.
Tell them what was the first thing? He didn't even have his mic off. What was the first thing you said to me when you walked out of the studio?
I said, this is hard.
Now, up until that point, he had been complaining and fighting and all of that with me on how much I was working him.
I know it's hard.
Stop, you don't have to be yelling.
I just don't like practicing.
So, but what is some of your key takeaways of what you really learned from the experience? Because he had a 4-minute segment. The segment was about car buying at the end of the year. So, hey y'all, hey, what's his pals? So what is it?
Now, all right, so a little caveat. That is one reason why it was harder. It's not my normal material. But you need to be flexible, right? You need to be able to shift gears a little bit to fit the narrative, to fit the show you want to go on, right? We're in the number 2 segment in the nation.
When number 2 market.
Number 2 market in the nation. So I was willing to shift my pitch a little bit. So that added to the complexity.
So for my people, Wes is known as the sales whisperer, and he's a beast at it. He's my sales strategist sometimes behind the scenes. He has coached me. So it was interesting for us to flip the cape, and he wasn't happy either. Ooh, Lord, he wasn't happy.
She enjoyed beating me.
I
a little
sure
too
did.
Much.
So, but I knew a car buying tips segment at the top of the year would be golden. And I know he knows sales, so it was...
Oh, well, another point. So she pitched me to go, I was supposed to go last weekend. So truly at the end of the year to give these tips. But a tragedy happened and I got kicked, or I got pushed back a week. So we had to make that change a little bit as well. So we drilled one pitch and then had to adjust it a little bit. So it added to the complexity.
Okay, so then tell them some of your takeaways, Wes, of now having done this. How fast it goes. Talk a little bit about that. Tell them.
Yeah, and was it Benjamin Franklin, one of those guys? I don't know, Churchill, said, if you want me to talk for a day, I'll talk right now. You want me to talk for an hour? Give me 15 minutes. You want me to talk for 15 minutes? Give me a week, give me a month. The shorter your talk, the more you have to prepare, and especially on a segment like this, because you've got to have your talking points in there, and it's just not natural. Right? I can do 1-hour talks. I can do 2-day workshops. Not a problem. You have time to make up any gaps, explain things you may not have covered in depth. When you have 3 or 4 minutes, we literally practice 5 hours, not counting just the stuff in my head, just thinking about it, reviewing it. It's
say that again.
It's hard.
Wait. Say that again, because I want at least my people to catch that. How much time did we invest, me and you, working together for a 4-minute segment?
At least 4 hours.
At least 4 hours.
At least 4 hours on a Zoom call where I couldn't hide.
Yep. Because when you coach it with me, I have to see you. I have to see you. And see, for Wes's people, here's what I know about Wes. When Wes don't want to do something, he'll start making jokes. If I ask him a question, he'll start just making jokes and talking about me. And it's like, okay, I know you stalling.
And then I had a bad internet connection. Oh, solar flares, sunspots. I got to go.
Okay, so when the producer came in, though, Wes, what I found interesting, there were a couple of things that what happens is the producers come in and gives you a rundown or goes over your talking points. And what I found fascinating was one of the first things she said was she was going to go in the exact order that I gave the questions in. right? Right when she said that.
That's what she said they were going to do.
Right, and they did. They just skipped the question. They just skipped the question.
We prepared 4. We prepared 3 with a bonus. They did 1 and 3, not 2 and the bonus.
Exactly. So, but that's why it's key that you absolutely have to know your talking points. So, I met with Wes at Denny's this morning. We were practicing in Denny's. In Denny's, we were practicing. That is how hard I actually want you to know your talking points. And I always throw him because I never go in the same order. Right? So your acronym, what's your acronym?
Bye.
Bye.
B-U-Y.
B-U-Y.
And she'd start with U.
Or I'd start with Y.
Then she'd go to the stressful. She had too much fun messing with me.
I really did.
It's like when Tiger Woods' dad, I heard like he would like kick his bag over in the middle of his backswing. That's TJ. Mean. She acts all happy. It's a facade.
So
mean.
Yes. And then what were some of the other things that the producer said that we can talk about for them, Wes, so that they know? One of the things, if you're pitching media, one of the things Wes asked me coming into the studio was, they're always looking for guests. They have about 4 morning shows typically, and depending on the market, has about 4 hours to fill. Now, when you match that with, it's about 3 to 4 minutes per segment, that's a crap load of time they got to fill. So Wes asked me, what is it then? You know, are they just getting bad pitches? And the secret is he said, are they getting bad pitches or bad, what did she ask me?
Or are they just not getting pitched?
Yes, are they getting bad pitches or they're just not getting pitched? And I said, most of the time, they're getting bad pitches. Because people who are pitching them want to come on and promote their book, promote their product, promote their service, as opposed to serving the audience, solving a problem, which is why Wes's segment, his lane, his genius is sales all day. He can talk about sales till he's blue in the face. But that doesn't mean I'm going to actually bring him on to promote his latest book, The Sales Whisper Way. That is not the approach. It is what is in your head that can actually solve a problem. So I knew that at the top of the year, a segment around tips and insights, because he's normally on the side of the salesman. How about we flip the tables and give the tips, the secrets that salesmen use to actually woo people in? How can the consumer have the upper hand? What else that she covered?
Tip
that would
from
be
her?
good. Yeah, that kind of things that she said that I teach, but she reiterated it.
Like posture, like how to look at the camera?
Conversation. One thing I kept
and.
Yeah, okay. So the first thing is conversational. It has to be conversational. I practice Wes and all my clients. It is just you and that host standing there having a conversation that people can eavesdrop on. That's it. They get to eavesdrop on what you're telling me. And then the second thing, what was it you just said?
Yes and?
The yes and is an improv technique. An improv technique that they ask you a question, you go yes and, because here's the reason. They will actually take you down a rabbit hole. Because they're fascinated and they kind of, Wes had a great personality. I kept drilling him on making sure his personality kept showing. And so I knew what would happen when you bring in your personality. They want to have fun with you. But they've got other segments that they're going to move on to. And if you haven't hit your talking points in those 4 minutes, they will take you down a rabbit hole and you have not served that audience. So there's an improv technique called yes and. So they ask a question, yes and then you move on to what your talking point is. So you are actually acknowledging them, you're asking a question, you're answering their question, but you're keeping that segment moving. And then the final thing I think I want to say, Wes, is how one of the challenges that I have with my clients, each one of them is different. Each one of them I have to pull out what do they have a problem with. Wes is a talker. Wes is a storyteller. Wes will actually get caught up in the energy of the segment and forget he doesn't have time. One of the challenges of when we were coaching together is I kept telling him, you're giving me too many details. You don't have time. You have 4 minutes. Yes, that would sound good if it was 15, 20-minute podcast, radio segment. But when you're doing television, you have to pull out the fluff, still make it engaging. So that was his tick. And that was one of the last things I said to him when he got ready to go live is you have to be in your head that you are not on stage. You are in the studio. Not on stage, you're in the studio. And then finally, something else that just hit me as I was talking there.
I was just talking about, hey, we gotta back up.
Oh.
Just how hard it is. It's, you practice, but it's just like in jiu-jitsu, right? You watch a bunch of YouTube videos, it's a whole lot different when somebody's staring you in the face. You literally will forget everything you trained on. And this, again, it wasn't 100%, my normal material. So, I mean, I was nervous, even though I've done this for 20 years. Mm-hmm. I've had my sales training for 12 years. You get nervous, but you know what? You better be willing to go out and fail, mm-hmm. right? You better be willing to go out and make a fool out of yourself, or you will never get over the hump.
Now, you don't want to do that in the top market, so
right.
Let's be clear.
And that's why.
And you don't want to do that without TJ in a top market.
Amen. Yeah, you may think, oh, fantastic. I'm in LA, I'm in New York, I'm in Miami, where you fail on a big stage. That's why you go to the smaller markets at first till you get some practice, because it's hard.
Yeah. Dang it, I just had my last point because you said it. You said it kind of. It was about.
I make TJ lose her mind when she's with me. She can't even think.
Lord have mercy. Y'all see what I deal with on a regular basis? You see? Dang it, what was it, Wes? I talked about being conversational, and I talked about, here's the last thing I'll say of what I've had. Because I have the benefit of coaching people who are beasts in their lane. They are geniuses in their lane. Wes said he's been doing sales for 12 years. He's been in this lane. He's doing sales training for 12 years, but he's been in sales in general for over 20. When I have speakers or I have people who they're used to doing radio, they're used to doing podcasts. Yeah. There's not it's not an arrogance. I don't want to say that, but it tends to have this thing of, well, I don't want to practice. Oh, I got this. I think Wes said to me, I do better when I wing it. No, sir. No, ma'am.
Not this.
Not on my watch. You got 3 to 4 minutes. And what happens is when I get these big personalities that are normally, Wes and I banter, we fight, and I've seen it happen. People who are radio hosts, but now I've got them doing a TV interview, people who are used to doing it. There's something that happens when you hit the studio and there's lights. And there's all this equipment, and you realize I'm about to be seen in front of hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of people. You start shrinking and then go into your expert mode. Oh, I'm sitting with these people, so I actually should be more expert.
And then the three hosts are on their phones, not even looking at you. You're like, hello, does anybody know I'm here? And then 3, 2, 1, and it's on. You're like, whoa, what just happened?
Right.
So
what I have to always remind my clients is that do not shrink. Show up as who you are, not who you think they want you to be. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say that for the people in the back. Show up for who you really are. Wes is a goofball. I did not want him to be intimidated by all the madness of what goes on, and he then turns into, yes, I'm Wes Schaeffer, I'm the sales whisperer, as opposed to he's normally, I'm Wes Schaeffer and I am the sales whisperer. It is very easy for you to shrink into the box that you think they want you to be in. All right? Hope that is helpful. You got any final thoughts you want to tell them?
That's it. Thank you, darling.
You should probably tell them how much you're crazy about me and how you just can't imagine doing this ever again without me, and how I am the greatest thing since sliced bread and the
Oh, solar flare. Oh, the seagull's about to poop. I got to go.
All right,
get
y'all.
Some training from TJ and get famous.
I hope that was helpful. I'll see you guys later.
Now go sell something.
I'll see you guys later, and that's it. Bye.